Hello everyone, welcome back to the stream. So today I'll be playing some games, some friendly games. I don't know. Uh, Wait a minute. Okay, probably I'll be playing some games against my friend, and then I'll also try to analyze the games as well. Uh, and also maybe I'll just review the games that we usually discuss. So probably I'll just oops. Okay, so probably I'll just open some other games to analyze as well. Okay, back to this. Okay, just play some rapid games. Okay, so I'll just start with e4, the king's pawn opening. Oh, sorry. Okay, I'll just go with the knight f3. Okay, I'm just planning to play Scotch Gambit, quite aggressive, but allowed to play that then. Okay, probably just capture d takes e5 because this allows me to exchange queens and capture a free pawn. So probably this is the sequence of moves after the capture. I'll just capture the queen and then capture the other pawn as well. So now a simple threat to fork the king and the rook. So let's see whether he's able to finding that. I'll just block with the pawn move. So this is a blender because now I can just play this and pick up the rook. Okay, so now I can just develop the bishop out so that I can just bring the okay. So before that, probably I will just try to challenge his knight and develop the bishop if he captures, then develop the bishop and try to bring out the knight as well. But I guess I just give him some space because after the captures, he can just play the bishop e6 move, so which prevents this bishop c4 move, allowing okay, he can play that. Still, he can play this. After exchanges, he can just move his king forward to capture my knight. Yeah, my knight is trapped, so it's quite tough to bring that out. I should be playing the bishop move in the beforehand. Okay, so I'll just castle. So my idea is to just bring the rook to the e1 and pin his knight to his king, and then try to capture and resolve the position. I'll just lie back. I can just do the capture, but I don't want to do that. I just need to keep the pressure in this way. I'll just go with my plan. So there are so many threats up here. I can just simply play this as well. So targeting his rook and then developing my knights and bringing the other bishop, targeting or trapping the rook in the corners, which might also be an idea. Also, this move prevents the knight to c6 move. So which ultimately, okay, this might be this should be an easy win game for me. Aha, he's defending properly. That's a good move. So I'll just go with my idea. So I'll just try to develop. Sorry, I'll just try to develop the bishop and then try to play this move. Or even I can just play this bishop move and then go for this. Okay. Here once again blunder, which he gives some gap for my knight to escape. So probably I'll just play, or maybe I can just add one more attacker to this knight. So now this knight is lost, which can't be defended. What are the other moves? So probably I'll just capture the knight and simplify the position. Just remove the other pieces as well as the game goes on. Then just try to consolidate the whole position and get into an endgame. That's the plan that I have now. A nice move, but blundering the bishop is it's not a good one. Hmm Nice one. You can just still go for this, but he didn't do that. Uh, okay, probably just capture this way. So if I just capture this one, after the king moves, he can just go for this, deflecting my bishop and capturing the rook. So probably I'll just take with the bishop. So now his king is cut off these two ways. So probably I'll just drop my rook back. Hmm. So going for a nice small. It's what's this mate called? It's a back and checkmate, right? Hmm. I can just go for this check. He comes here. Sorry. So goes for check. I'll just come here. Okay. I don't want to complicate the game. So I just wanna develop my bishop. So develop the rooks. Also preventing the d1 check. Hmm. Finally, he saw that knight thing. That's a good one. Maybe I'll just show some discoveries. Probably he might or might not be seeing that. Okay, I'll just develop rook d1, then I'll just go for discoveries. Not this way, but actually this way. Or shall I just go for mate? So actually, do I have mates up here? I don't know. I can keep check this way and pick this pawn. Then I'll just. So I'm not just playing the perfect chess, but I'm just trying to consolidate the position and trying to win pieces as much as possible. But actually, this isn't the way to play chess. So actually, should be using all our resources to checkmate the king, not to grab pieces the whole process of the game. But I'm just trying to play safer. I'm not just not risking the whole position. I'm just trying to grab the things as well. That's it. So probably just capture. He can play this. I'll just comes up here, or even I can just drop the bishop back, defending my rook. So plays this. I can just capture, or even sneaky. This move would also be a good ride. Targeting the knight, also having some kind of discoveries through the bishop move. Hmm, that's a nice one though. So he's just deflecting the way that I just defend my bishop, so he can just capture this. But I'll just go for this one, so I can just pin his knight. Even if he captures, I'll just go for this check, or even just bishop captures, so that if he moves his rooks to some dark squares, then I can just do some crazy discoveries. Let's see. Probably, I think the best move for him to just capture the bishop. He didn't go for that. I'll just capture the knight. So hoping for some discoveries. So if he captures, not bad. I guess he thought of capturing with the rook so that he can just capture the other rook. But I can just simply capture with the pawn. Okay, so now I should be simplifying the game, right? So I'll just bring the other rook, check, and just try to corner his king and try to mate him. That's it. So trying to form some kind of a cage setup. Probably. So if he just moves his rook the other way, then I can just simply march the pawn. The simplest way is to queen the pawn and just keep checks. Or even I can just play rook to c1 so that I can just bring the other rook into the game to have the double knight, sorry, the double rook checks. Checkmate pattern. Okay, I'll just bring the other rook as well. So idea is to just keep checks, push the king. Probably he can just come and hide up here. Okay, I have a mate in one. If you didn't see that, I can just have a mate in one. No, it doesn't a mate in one because you can just move here, right? Probably this moves a mate in one, right? Hmm. How do I just mate here? I don't see. I do see a mate. Probably yeah, that's a mate. So I can just move my bishop anywhere in these four squares. I just simply win the game. Mhm. Okay, I'll just ask for a rematch. Probably he's white now. So in this game, I'll just try to play much more aggressively. I'll try to use the tactics that usually the 1800 range players use. He's going for e4. Okay, I'll just strike up with the Scandinavian. So I'll just try to play aggressively. That's it. That's not a good move though. Hmm. Okay, I'll just. Nice, nice one though. Probably I will just challenge myself by playing Primus maybe. That would be good, right? Okay, I'll just go for the Scholar's Mate maybe. Let's see that whether 200 to 300 rated players can just see this Scholar's Mate. So obviously this is one of the most famous mating patterns in the beginners level. You can just capture this. I'm just expecting him to do that. So which eventually will get into a mate. So nice move though. So he's just preventing the d4 move so that he can just capture this. Nice, great move though. Probably okay. I'll just go for the simple fork thing. So I'm not sure. I should be trying to push him much harder, but don't know how to do that actually. Okay, I'll just simply drop back. So I'll just go for this. sorry, targeting the queen and the rook. Probably I should be playing some odd games against him. So obviously this is not an a nice one though. A good initiative, having check, deflecting the queen and trying to move the rook. But have the bishop c2, sorry, c7 move, which actually defends that. hmm So he played two good moves in the previous positions as well. So this, sorry. So yeah. So here the c3 move is a awesome move. Now I don't know why he played this b4 move, kicking the bishop. Actually, I guess what's the move which prevents this thing? So not there is no move which can actually prevent this thing. So maybe that's the reason why he played that thing. Then yeah, this is also a good move though. Okay, he actually played a move. So I can just simply take his bishop and capture the queen. Do I have a nice quick way to checkmate him maybe? Actually, yeah, I have a greater amount of advantage in this position. Probably should be dropping his queen back. Okay, he does blunder his queen. Good way to blunder his queen. Probably targeting this thing and this one so that I can just play this. Nice move though. I like to simply capture the pawns, but I don't want to do that. I'll just wait for some more time. So if he moves his knight somewhere else, I can just capture this pawn, or I'll just capture this way. Both is fine. So, a nice move. Which allows the captures, right? So probably should also be converting this as an easy end game for me. Maybe I should be sacking something to make the game interesting instead of playing simple chess or kind of like a safe chess. Okay, aiming for winning a piece by playing this move. Let's see whether he's able to see this or not. I guess he should be able to see these kinds of moves. So he should be either playing king move, which eventually which lead to this. Check is not possible, but I can just still sneak with the knight. Wow, that's a great defensive move. A good one though. But still, I can just go for my attack. So he should be attacking my queen somehow. I don't know how he's just going to do that. Okay, so he blended the whole game. This is a mate in one. This is still mate, bro. Yeah, a nice game though. Maybe I'll just remove it. Okay, how to message up here? Maybe we'll just do the game analysis for both the games. So decent accuracy though. So since both of these questions are quite simpler ones, so okay, probably we'll just do the review by ourselves. So Scandinavian. So I shouldn't be capturing. I should be playing. Yeah, I thought of this idea. Probably opening my queen to the h4 square. A blunder. Yeah, actually this is a blunder, so it should be defending this way so that even if I play this, he can just move his rook somewhere else. Okay, then the game is one-sided. So probably I'll just analyze the other game as well, right? So have to see that as well. Maybe I'll just try to analyze with the oops. Let's go with the analysis engine. Okay, e4. Oh wow. What's this? This isn't the move, right? Okay, actually should be opening this. Okay, wait a minute. Mhm. Okay, so maybe we'll just discuss, analyze the game uh, along with my friend. So actually, we have just played two games in this whole course of thing. So this is the first game where I actually played with the king's pawn opening, knight spawned with e5, knight f3, and this is all standard stuff. I just tried to break through the center with this Kosh Gambit. Okay, what are your thoughts on this playing this move?
Simple. I don't want you to checkmate in three, 4 moves.
No, I don't play Scholar's Mate with beginners. So, because in modern chess, everyone knows that thing.
Okay, okay. Trying to make sure.
Actually, this is a good opening. I'm not sure whether you played it knowingly or unknowingly, but this is an actually a good opening. D6 is not played in the beginners level. Okay, then yeah. So here is where I did a mistake. So actually, the main idea behind this move is target the center and capture the pawns. That's it. Because the number of attackers is on this pawn is one and two, but you defend it only once, right? So
Okay.
actually, I'm just trying to capture free pawn up here. So probably you should be defending up somehow this pawn. Maybe this move or even the knight move should be a better one. So this is a blunder. So this is the first blunder that you actually made in the game. So allow me to capture the move. So after a few exchanges, so I can just capture this free pawn, right? So that's what actually happened in the game. So after exchanging queens, I play this move. So I hope that you will play this one. So I hope you will just capture this e4 move, but you didn't. The idea behind this one is I'll just try to capture your
Uh,
rook. So
Either.
that's the main idea. So checking the king and picking up the rook is the idea behind this. But I guess you played, yeah, you played a check. So which is also a good move, but still I can just go with my own idea. Because
Mm,
I'll just try to block with this pawn. So you should be forcing to move this bishop somewhere else, right?
mm,
So after forcefully moving a bishop, I'll just go with my same idea. That's what actually happened in the game. So you played bishop d6. I captured with the check, and then grabbed the rook.
This is what I usually do in all my games, but this game I forgot.
Hmm. Yeah, this is the basic idea. You should be understanding the whole game. So once I capture this rook, this you can just see the alo, right? So this eval bar.
Mm,
So this actually indicates I'm winning the whole game. So after what? After nine moves.
okay.
So yeah, so here's maybe the blunder that you did up here is the initial a pawn move. So just lost a single pawn, which actually turned the game up in my side.
Mm, okay.
So if you are actually defending this pawn, then the game would be turned over in your favor. I'm not sure.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the only thing you made in this game mistake. So remaining everything is I just try to play safely and try to win by checkmate. That's it.
Mm,
So yeah, you played every move so good up here. So you actually defended well in the difficult position. And yeah, so what are your thoughts on this place? So actually, I'm pinning your knight to the king, so you can't move your knights until you move a king somewhere else. So I try to capture the knight up here. So you should be actually defending this thing, but you actually can't do that. So why do you play this move? So actually, I think you played, yeah. So you played this move, right? So actually,
yeah.
I'm rendering a free bishop here. What's the reason behind that?
What?
But yeah, you actually should be giving up your
No,
knight
yeah,
here. Hmm.
because you already have one knight in my side. So if I don't let give off my knight, I mean, sorry, the
The
bishop,
bishop. Hmm.
then you will directly take my knight and
Hmm.
you'll keep a check.
Okay, so but still, I'll just go for this idea, right? Still, I can just keep the check right after this move.
Yeah, that's what I didn't think of it.
Hmm. But yeah, still a good analysis. But I guess you should be thinking for at least two, three moves so that you
Mm.
can just actually see these things. Hmm. Yeah, nice one. Then yeah,
Ah,
this is actually a great move.
that
So
thing is
actually, hmm.
because I knew I had one of my bishop waiting if you take an advantage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a great one. So actually, this is a good move. So after I captures, I'm just trying to consolidate the position. And actually, here is a tactic. So if I just captured with the rook, then actually it's a good move for you.
Mm.
Because let's say you play something like this, and a further pulley will just play some other blunders maybe. So you can
Mm.
just block this thing. So actually, this cuts off the
Ah,
defense of this rook so that you can just capture the rook or the bishop. So again, the position would be somewhat equalish. It's not fully equalish, but somewhat equalish in your favor. But actually, so that's the reason why I played the bishop captures bishop instead of rook captures bishop.
and I think after that, I think I should have captured your knight instead of moving my rook here,
Yeah,
right?
so this one is also actually a good move because this move instead of capturing is making a back rank checkmate. For example, let's
Yeah,
say
yeah.
I played some blunder moves, then it's a mate in one.
I was actually, yeah.
So that's actually a good move.
That
So,
is what I was thinking.
hmm. So that's the reason why I just defended the back rank checkmate by opening my bishop.
Mm.
So then you capture this one. So this is a good move. This is an intermediate good move, which actually, let's say if you're just playing against two rated player, obviously they will just try to bring out the knight,
Mm.
but they will forget the thing up here. So you can
Yeah.
just easily mate up there. Well, that's
Mm.
a great sense of thing. Yeah, then the game is one-sided. So actually, I try to play safely. Yeah, why did you capture this? So what's the idea behind this one? I
Uh,
guess you may think like this. I guess I'm not sure. Maybe
oh,
you will be calculating something like this, but you missed this the pawn move, which actually depends the rook.
oh, yeah, yeah. I forgot the pawn.
Hmm. Yeah, we're just making some kind of small blunders. This is not actual blunders. Yeah, that's a good one to go with. Then actually, yeah, try to yeah. This is a great game. Then we'll just go for the next one. Hmm. Yeah, so in this game, I'll just try to push you hardly. I played an aggressive opening, which is called Scandinavian. In both the games, I try to play more aggressively. Uh, yeah, so this is known as Scandinavian, where you try to oppose directly with the captures.
Ah,
But why did you define this one? Is there any idea behind that, or
that's what. That move, I moved that because I don't want you to mate me in 3, 4 more.
okay? But I'll just say some suggestion up here. So actually, you should not be opening. This is the weakest square in the chess game. So there's a rule in the chess where f7 square. This is sorry, f2. So f2 and f7 squares are two weakest squares in the chess, which actually, because this square is not defined by any of your pieces, right? It is only defined by the king.
Okay.
While in this case, this is defined by two things. So every pawn is defined by some of the other pieces. But this is the only square which is not defined by any other pieces. So actually,
Mm.
you should not be opening this way. So which actually here the best move is I should be playing this, which allowing me to keep this check.
Mm. Mm. Mm.
So which actually threatens your king in some way.
Okay.
So probably this move should not be played in top levels.
Ah,
But yeah, that's a good one. So after captures, yeah, this is also a good move. Even though it's an mistake, but still, most players will try to capture this.
mm.
So my idea is if you capture this one, I'll just try to develop, and then let's say you develop the other knight as well. So I try to keep the check and develop my pieces quickly. So that's what my idea up here is. But you actually didn't capture the pawn. Instead, you go with the defensive move. Then yeah, I blundered this whole thing. I should be capturing this pawn to maintain the advantage. So after this move, the game is
I,
equalish. Hmm?
yeah, I think I moved that this thing pawn,
Which pawn? Yeah,
the
this one,
this thing,
right?
to
Hmm.
defend my queen also.
That's a nice one. So I didn't actually expect the move. So I actually pre-moved this d4 e5 move.
Ah, okay.
Then there's yeah. So after this move, this is a basic thing where I try to fork your both rook and queens. You actually pretty defended well. So I thought you will just capture this pawn. This is a free pawn. Most of the beginners will do that. So which eventually allows me to play this one. So attacking your knight also there's a mate in one. So let's say you
Mm.
just move back your knight, then I'll just mate in one. So this is the actual thing that I planned. But you played a wonderful move. This is a great one. So which actually defends this thing. So now we can just capture. Let's say I'll just play some other move. Now we can actually capture this move. So now I can't play this move because this thing is defending this one.
Yeah.
So do you this play this move knowingly this all lines, or what's the reason behind playing this c3 move, this move?
Yeah, like I didn't find any reason to take that pawn.
But actually this is a nice one. So mostly this around the 15 to 16 players will think like this. So let's
Yeah,
actually try to capture this thing. So this
and
is
I also checked this thing, the bishop
hmm
targeting that square. What is
hmm
that? F7 or something.
yeah, f2.
I F2.
Hmm. Yeah, that's a nice one. So actually defended a great a threat up here because these kinds of moves are not easily seen by rated players around of 1000 or 1100. So you are just, I guess you were just well below rated up here. Okay, so after, yeah, so my actual idea is to just develop the knight and try to fork your rook and the queen. What's the reason behind playing this one?
Which one?
Wait a minute, I'll just clear all the squares. So you actually played the pawn b4, right?
Yeah.
So what's the reason behind this move? I expected you to play this move, which
Mm.
actually closes this square attack, because this
I
square is
was
now
I wanted to attack that bishop
bishop. Yeah,
instead of
but
this one. I moved other.
hmm, but you should be attacking this way so that your king is quite safe up here.
Mm.
Otherwise, still the square is open, and I can just actually attack in future moves. Okay, so yeah, this is a great blunder. So you should be defending this square because my actual intention to play this knight to this g4 move is to actually play here so that I can just fork your
Mm.
king and rook. And you actually played a great move up here. So basically, you just made a check. That's actually a great move because lower rated players just try to defend with pawn.
Mm.
So now a queen is safe, and you can also safeguard the rook.
Mm.
So actually, I'm just defend. So you just freed you both of your rook and queens up here.
Mm.
But you missed this move, I guess. So this d2 move actually attacks your queen. Also have the same threat of capturing the rook. Then yeah, why did you play this move? What's the reason behind that?
Oh, I was thinking now. Okay, if you did the blender and capture my bishop, I'll take your queen with uh, knight.
Sorry, I'll just capture what?
With queen, your queen,
Okay, okay. What do you think that I would move?
black queen.
Okay, I will just move my queen so that you can just capture
No, no,
what?
no.
Hmm.
You'll take that bishop.
Okay, I will just take that bishop so that you can just capture with knight.
Yeah, if you did a mistake.
Actually, this is also a good move. If I just captured this, and if you capture this way, I still capture your queen. So this is +3 for me. So I captured extra piece, right? So you
Okay.
should be calculating quite deep in this thing.
Mm.
But what I actually did is I just counterattack your bishop. So
Mm.
now I don't want to give up my queen, but still I attack your bishop and also have a threat on capturing the queen as well. So you should be defending your queen somehow by moving, let's say, b3 or c2, but you actually
Mm.
moved your bishop back, which blunders the
Yeah,
queen. Yeah, but that's a good one to see through.
I should have advanced the pawn at least.
Hmm. Yeah, then the game become easier for me because I just got off the queen off the board. So I try to consolidate the whole game, and then yeah, up here. So after this move, I'm actually trying to build more pressure on this knight.
Mm.
So let's say if you just move your knight somewhere, I'll try to capture and try to make some mating patterns up here. That's what my initial idea is. You actually did a blender up here, which is the knight moves. So this knight is only defended by this piece, but you
Yeah.
just remove the defender, which actually led me to play the queen captures. Then actually, if you moved up here, then I'll just have a mate in one. So I moved this way instead, so which allows me to have a forced mate in three. Yeah, but that's a great game as well. So your rating is, I guess, is below, much lower than your actual rating is. I guess it should be somewhere right around 700 or 800 maybe. Yep.
down.
Yeah, but that both games are actually great. And thanks for coming up for my stream and just having a co-analysis with me. Thank you. Okay, shall we just play more or just end up or wind up the thing?
We'll play tomorrow. We'll
Yeah.
play 2 or 3 matches every day, maybe.
Yeah, that would be better. Okay, then bye bye. Take care. I'll just end the stream as well. Bye. Okay, so I guess we'll just do some GM games analysis. Then I'll just wind up the stream up here. Probably. Okay, I'll just choose the other Luke Van Leeuwen game. Sorry, Luke Van Whaley game against this Morozovic. This is a short game which has a 21 moves of length. Okay, the game started with Whaley played with white and Morozovic played with black. And the game starts with d4, the queen's pawn opening, d5, and the queen's gambit. So c4, Slav defense. I guess Slav defense is quite popular in the top level chess. I'm not sure, but still it is played by most of the top GMs in the modern chess as well. Okay, Slav defense. Then just going for knight f3, knight f6, knight c3, pawn captures c4, should be d captures c4, h4, hmm, c5. I didn't expect that one. d5, bishop f5, e3, e6, bishop captures c4, pawn, okay, to be e captures d5, knight captures d5, knight f6, so knight c6, queen b3. Okay, defending this pawn by playing this queen d7. Oh, knight captures f6, g captures f6, bishop bishop d2, rook g8, bishop c3, long castle. Capturing the free pawn. Capturing the free pawn on f7 on g2 as well. Okay, knight h4, forking the rook on g2 and the bishop on f5. Actually, he's giving up the rook free for the bishop. I don't know what's the reason behind this move. Probably I'll just simply capture this, right? Capture this and just go with my own idea of this. I don't know what is happening up here. Okay, he captured this. Why not this one? So I thought of capturing this knight. Okay, this allows this move, right? Hmm. Okay, got the idea. Okay, check. He's just trying to exchange more pieces of the board since he's having a extra a piece. You know why also not playing this capture is also a good one, but he played b8, king b8. I don't know what's the reason behind this move. Probably okay. So after this capture, you can just win the queen and win the queen, right? Okay, that would be the idea. Okay, king b8, defending the knight, and maybe if exchanges, we'll just still defend the knight with the bishop. You can just capture. After this, you can just fork the two rooks, right? Okay, this allows this check. So that's the reason why he plays h4. Okay, now he plays this move. Okay, if he captures this, can do this. After playing this, he can just have this mate. Wow, that's a good sequence of moves. Okay, check. Okay, what's the reason behind this move? I can just simply capture this, right? Oh wow, so after this capture, I can just play this queen g7 move. Actually, this is a mate. Yeah, wow, that's a nice one. Okay, so we'll just try to analyze with the engine help. Okay, it's a Queen's Gambit, the Slav defense. I guess this is all modern theory. Yeah, this is away from the theory. It's a weird move. Also, it shows a favor in White's position. Probably e6 is a good move, defending for consolidating the strengths in the center squares. Um, but he played b5 actually. Sorry, c5 actually. Okay, what's the best move for White in this position? So playing d5 is the best move. Okay, he played that. And after this, okay, he brought out his bishop out. Hmm. So e3 is not the great move as I expected for White. So the good move for White is a6. Sorry, a5. But what's the reason behind playing? Okay, this a5 move just lends a square for Queen to have some checks, which can be which can be blocked by this way, right? I don't know, probably dropping the queen or trying to add more attackers to the square. I'm not sure, but this I just see the whole line. I'll just stop the engine up here. Okay, I'll just stop the engine up here. So a5, g6, queen a4 check. So d6, queen a4 check, bishop for d7. Okay, dropping by the bishop back to the d7. Queen takes a c4. Capturing this pawn. Okay, kind of like playing the similar thing to Catalan, I guess. In Catalan, there is some sequence of moves where you play the g3, turn off the bishop this way and castles, and you just try to check and pick the pawn this way, which can also probably defend it like this if he played a6 in the earlier move. But eventually that won't be happen in the top level chess, I guess. I'm not sure about it. Uh, so should we learn the opening theory in a hard and a better way, I guess. Okay, so let's just jump back into the game. So actually, he didn't play the sequence of moves. He played a simple e3 move. So actually, trying to capture the bishop, sorry, the pawn with the bishop. Okay, I'll just start the engine back. Okay, now he played e6 to consolidate the center, and he captured with the bishop. So bishop takes a c4. Pawn takes sorry, it's e takes d5. Knight takes d5. Developing the other knight to the c6 square. Mhm. So still the game is in drawish position. He played the knight b3 move. Okay, the queen d7 move, defending this pawn eventually. Okay, the knight f6 check. After the knight f6 check, g takes f6. Probably I would just short castle up in this position, but that's not the actual thing that he did in the game. Obviously, this is not a great move because you can just develop the rooks to the center and attack in multiple ways. Okay, bd2 is the move. So rook g8. Oh, sorry, rook g8. This move, not the rook b8. Okay. Rook g8, he played that as well, targeting this weak pawn. Okay, the bishop c3. Still, the position is quite good for white. Okay, long castle. Capturing this free pawn is kind of like the vulnerable thing. So the idea behind capturing this pawn is maybe trying to kick this bishop somehow and then trying to pin the queen with the king. That might be the idea for the Luke Van Vliet, but in the actual game there are some other things that the white can do. So actually this bishop takes f7 is a blunder because of the rook takes g2, which eventually allowing the knight h4. So actually should be playing the rook at g1. Okay, rook takes g1, knight takes g1, and then the queen d6 move. That should be the actual sequence of moves up here, defending this pawn. So it should also be a equivalent game, I guess. But he didn't go for that. He go for an aggressive move by playing the knight h4. Okay, after knight h4 and knight e5, knight captures. I'm not sure, but actually here b3-4 is a good move because it actually defends this knight check. Yeah, the whole game is blended in this move, so you should be trying to consolidate this rook's ability in this g2 square. So there's always a potent chess where rooks on the second and seventh ranks are dangerous. So this is actually true in this game, right? So we should eventually learn into this blender. So actually there are multiple ways for attacking for the black. I'll just try to clear this and try to map each and every move possible. So what if I capture this one? If I capture this one, he will eventually go for this check. Okay, what happens up here? If I capturing this one, knight f3 check. Sorry, knight f3 check, not knight d3 check. Okay, oh sorry, I'll just play king e2, attacking this thing. Bishop at d3 check. King d1. What if I captures up here? So queen h3 check. King f4, and then the bishop h6 check mate. Or you can just move back from here this way, so which allows the nasty discoveries of c4. So the king is forced to move to, let's say, the c1 square. So bishop takes b3, bishop takes b3, and the game is one-sided for black. Okay, so that's the actual sequence of moves up here. So actually, oops, sorry. So actually, this knight shouldn't be moved anywhere because this allows the knight f3 check. But in the actual game, he played this captures. Let's say he plays instead of knight d3 check, he plays knight f3 check. Still, the game is for white's favor because of this move, which eventually attacks this rook and also gives some more time to for the white. Sorry, for the white to improve his position. Okay, so after this move, he simply played the d3 check, forcing him to move the other way like this. So if he played this one, then it's actually a mate. So let's say he plays knight knight a4 check, knight e2 check, or he can go here, which allows the queen d3 check, king a2, knight c3 check, queen takes c3, queen takes c3. Eventually, the game is winning for black. Okay, so what's the only move for the escape? The only move for escape is to just play the bishop c4 move, actually defending both the ideas. So let's say I'll just play the bishop c4 move. Still, he can just capture this thing. I'll just capture rook g4, attacking both the king and the knight, essentially losing the knight. So that's the reason you shouldn't be playing this rook f, sorry, rook h4 move. Sorry, the knight h4 move. Should be consolidating the position up here. Okay, so probably in most, I guess in around 90 to 95% of positions, should be trying to consolidate the rook on the second or seventh rank. So you should be okay. I guess it's basic Fisher's principle. So whenever the opponent's piece is in your home squares, which means in the your half of your board, then you should be trying to kick this piece out of the square or try to consolidate the thing. So I guess probably if Fisher is playing this position as a white, he would just play this move. So after captures, the game is consolidated and it's quite free. The pressure is really up now. Yeah, this is a nice game. So just try to see from the beginning. So a queen's gambit with a Slav defense, and then yeah, in this we are just seeing some sequence of moves where I play the a5, allowing the queen a4 check and pick the c4 pawn. But he did the other way, which is actually sorry, which is actually a good thing for white. So after this, the only blunder he did is capturing the bishop. So this capturing the bishop, or sorry, capturing the pawn on the f7, allowing his rook to capture on g2. So eventually he should be playing some maybe king move. Is this move good? No, actually that is not good because of the bishop d3 move, eventually forcing, and let's say we'll just play the sequence. After captures, queen takes d3, and then the king g1, and a simple c4 move. Hmm. See that this rook is out of the game, and your positions are scrambled. You, you should be so cautious on this position. So king a2, queen a2, capturing this knight would be an idea because this pawn is pinned up here. For the whole thing. So after this move, what's the thing? So you should be playing the knight h4 now instead of capturing this. So actually this move is much better now. So now this pawn is actually defended and also attacking the bishop as well. So let's say he plays the bishop e6 move. So bishop takes e6, f takes e6, and short castle. Hmm. So now the game is under control. Where I just attack the pawn on f6, which eventually should be defending it somehow. Or yeah, that's kind of like actually. Also, I'm not sure how the masters and GMs are just trying to arrive at the position in their brain by just seeing and calculating things on the each side of the board. Maybe I should be having, or I should be building some kind of scoring system in my brain, which actually evaluate the position with at least what's that level called? There is some rate level where the players are compared with the engine lines. Don't know or can't remember the name for that thing. So yeah, that thing should be minimal. So the thing is, so the evaluation that you make for a position and the evaluation that ancient makes, the differences should be minimal. Minimal one. Okay, so after this, okay, this move just saves the game. So instead of capturing the bishop on the pawn on f7, the knight h4 moves much better. Hmm. So we should actually get into a losing game. Okay, I'll just review another game. So we already reviewed this Kramnik versus Zevic. Okay, I'll just choose the Peter Lekos game. Okay, I'll just choose this Peter Lekos game against Morozevich. So I guess there are three more games yet to be analyzed. So Zevic chooses Bologan, Zevic chooses Alexei, and another one is with this Sokolov. Okay, so this is a lengthiest game in the whole 10 games. So this is the lengthiest game in this clip base. Yeah, probably will just try to do it. Leko is also one of the toughest grandmasters to play. Okay, so the game is between Leko and Zevish, and Morozevich is playing as a white and Leko is a black. Okay, the game starts with the English opening, c4, c5, which is a symmetric variation of English. Now the thing up here is I don't know any openings, but I do know some of the main lines. That too in a not in a stronger way, but I can just simply try to name the openings by simply knowing the first two to three moves. So I don't know. I guess the main idea behind this English is to have a I don't know. I don't even know what's the main idea behind this English opening. Probably I'll just check. What's the idea behind the okay, control the centralized squares. So probably playing as a Sicilian as a white to control the central squares. I guess that might be the idea for playing. Okay, so it's a flexible and a positional chess opening. White controls the center from the flank and often transposes to the other openings. So the key ideas include the delayed occupation of the center, focusing on the controlling the d5 square. Okay, so controlling this d5 square, and then maintaining a solid pawn structure with the fianchetto. How do I just pronounce this one? What's the meaning of this one? Okay, wow. So this is known as fianchetto.
Fianchettoed means the
Fianchettoed. Wow, I don't know this name, bro. Fianchetto means developing the bishop in the long diagonal, right? I've just played this move quite often in my games. Okay, but I don't know its name. Fianchetto. Little flank. Hmm. Fianchetto. Okay, so white to avoid black's preferred defense against this d4 move. So can lead to the base setups, which is the symmetrical variation, the reverse Sicilian, and the both Phoenix system. So there are so many things up here, I guess. Probably yes, Chessable is paid one, right? So I don't have time to read each and everything in the stream itself. I'll try to read when I have some time. Probably the main idea is the symmetrical one is to develop the knights and strike on the center. Okay, the reverse Sicilian is okay. So the actual Sicilian is e4 and c5, but the reverse Sicilian is c4 and e5. That's actually good. Probably having some central squares, trying to challenge the c4 pawn, exchange pieces on center, and trying to select the queen may be an idea. And then what's this thing? Still the reverse Sicilian? Fight for d5. Yeah, simply you can just play a King's Indian defense, right? I guess Magnus often plays this King's Indian defense in his Blitz game against the English, I guess. I'm not sure, but I often see him playing this opening. Okay, there are much more and more variations up here. The main idea behind this English opening to cover the d5 square. Okay, the knights and the pawns are developed in a symmetrical way, so that's the reason why it's a symmetrical English opening. And striking the center. So this is kind of like the main variation of this, the main line of the symmetrical variation of the English opening. Okay, after captures, knight will just try to see the moves by the notations. So actually e4, sorry, c4, c5, knight f3, knight f6, knight c3, knight c6, and striking with d4, c captures d4, knight captures d4, and then e6. Okay, now playing g3 move, maybe probably playing fianchetto. What's that thing called? Yeah, fianchetto. So probably playing fianchetto. Okay, queen b6, attacking the knight on g4, dropping back the knight to the b3 square. Okay, knight e5, e4, bishop b4. Queen e2. Probably his next move would be of a queen, sorry, the bishop g2. So this pawn is well defended by the queen. Okay, a d3 move, sorry, a d6 move. And he's patiently waiting. So now I guess he just develop the other bishop so that he can just plan wherever side he wants to cast. Also adding extra defender to this knight. So a bishop d2 move is a good one. Okay, consolidating the whole position by playing consolidating his bishop, anchoring his bishop by playing a5. Wow, Zevich is not even playing safely, bro. He's kind of like so until this move, I thought he's just playing safely, defending everything and trying to move his bishop to this g2 square and short castles, and his position is quite stable. He can just go for further attacks. So that's the whole sequence of moves that let's say he just short castle or just short castle. So that's the whole sequence of moves that I discussed. Uh, but he didn't go for the safer base. So just actually strike the knight in the center by playing f4. Okay, knight back to this c6. Now attacking the queen by playing e3. Queen backs to c7. Now playing the bishop g2 move. So I expected this bishop g2 move a few moves earlier. But yeah, while he's an aggressive player, he just tried to push his pawns more forward, try to kick back the pieces, have a stable position, and then I don't know, he might castle or he might not. Okay, so the idea behind this a4 move is to kick the knight by playing a5 moves to play a4 by to kick the knight. Okay, the knight back to the d2 square. Bishop takes c3, pawn takes c3. Ha, b6. Interesting. Probably he is also aiming to play the fianchetto by playing the bishop back to bishop to this b7. Okay, rook to b1, attacking the b6 pawn. This b6 pawn is now twice attacked by the bishop and the rook. Okay, Leko defends it by playing the knight back to d7. Adding one more attacker to the piece by playing the queen f2. Probably I'm just sorry for just saying these notations quite slower because I'm not good with these notations. So I try to calculate or practice these notations to say it faster. Yeah, I'm just still in the learning phase. Yeah, I'll just improve. Okay, so he let's move back to the game. He just defends the pawn by adding one more defender to the pawn by playing this rook g8. Sorry, it's rook b8. Short castle, short castle. Wow, that's why I just love his game scope. Even though he short castle, most of the players will be quite dared to attack or move the pawns in front of their king to just create some kind of threats. But Zevich is kind of like a creative and aggressive style player, so who loves to play aggressive pawn moves. So g4, even though engine 6 g4 is quite bad, but I guess Zevich has something which just makes the opponent to think in a wrong way. Yeah. See, so actually it's a natural move to develop the bishop to this. Yeah, actually it's a natural move to develop the bishop and attack the pawn on. So to put more pressure on the pawn on c4, but this actually ends up in a bad move. You know why it's a bad move? Let's see the consequences. So what's the good move for black? The good move for black is knight a5. So playing knight a5 is a good move. So actually bringing the knight first, attacking this pawn twice, maybe add more of attackers to it. Uh, oh, sorry. Oh, wait a minute. So, but he played the bishop. Wait a minute. Okay, so then okay, still the position is equally. Okay, Zevich played queen h4. Rook e8 should be rook f e8. Okay, uplifting the rook to f3. Knight back to this f8. Rook h3. So this is a blunder. Oh wow. Okay, I'll just analyze why this is a blunder. I'll just try to think in my own way. So after the pawn b5, what are the threats that actually the white can make for black? Probably. Okay, the best move for black in this position is to play the knight a5, doing with the same sequence, attacking the pawn thrice. Since this pawn is uh, chiefly defended by this knight, but I know why Leko played this one. So actually, this feels a much better move. But what's the thought process in the Leko's mind while playing this b5 move? So I should be thinking from both of their perspective, and then from the engine's perspective, and then my own my own filthy or kind of like what my own ungrown brain maybe. So after this b5 move, the whole game changes. So he plays e5, tracking up the center. Okay, d captures e5. The reason to play e5 is to bring the bishop to e4 so that he can just add one more attacker to the h7 pawn. So h6 is played. So probably in this position I'll just push this pawn, which is actually Not bad, right? I don't know. So I will just play g5. This actually gives me some kind of instinct that because there are more number of attackers, each and everything is battle upon on the king side. So yeah, I'll just easily bet on Zevich. But he played the f5 instead of g5. So f6, maybe stopping the pawn to move forward. Also attacking this square multiple times. Okay, bishop takes h6. G takes h6. Queen takes h6. Queen a7. Probably defending his queen because the reason to move his queen is, let's say he plays this, king comes up here, this check, king should be moved somewhere else. Let's say, oh sorry, so after this move the sorry, the bishop captures the h7, queen captures h7, king should be moved somewhere. Let's say he moves to, he is forced to move on the f8. Now this queen can be captured on free, right? So that's the whole idea behind that. Okay, got it. So he swiftly moves his queen to defend with the knight. But I can just simply capture this, right? Okay, that's a check. Oh, why I'm just being so dumb, bro? Now forcing queens to be exchanged. Okay, capturing the free knight. Queen captures h6. The rook captures h6. A rook. Okay, actually, this is an equalist position. Sorry, it is materially equalistic because we this Zawitz is sacking this bishop, right? Before he sacked the bishop by playing the bishop takes h6, a few moves back. Okay, so rook d8 attacking the knight. So knight e4, king g2, sorry, king g7, rook takes f6. Hmm, rook c8, pawn takes, should be c takes b5, rook takes bishop. Oh wow, so he's actually giving a free full rook so that he can just march the pawn forward. That's actually nice. This comes to check. After this move, he just brings up the queen into the board. Wow, okay, got the whole sequence of things right. So, so he should be playing b4. So in these kinds of position, I would try to play safely. Let's say I'll just play this. Oh wow, so what are the moves that I naturally think is it's kind of like a tricky thing where the GMs just set traps for the lower rated players. So after this move, bishop takes b7. Sorry, bishop b7 is a better move. So attacking this thing. Also, the rook is also undefended, so actually letting us to lose the game. So which is, wow, that's a great tactic. So which is actually seen by Zevic. So he captured with the pawn, and then after capturing and giving up the rook, he has two marched. So he has two pawns which can be marched forward. And then okay, captures with check. Queen g3, sorry, king g3. He brings the queen into the board. Then checking the king. So the better move would be a c7. Okay, marching the other pawn to make the queen. Because this can't be different. Let's say he plays c7, he can play the bishop move. Now he can play the c8 check. Where is c8? Oh, sorry. So we can just march the pawn as a queen. Then bishop takes queen. Queen takes c8. Maybe some kinds of check and forking two things. So you can actually defend one thing, resultingly winning the game as a white. But he went for another variation where he can just check the king and march the pawn forward. Check, check, and Leko resigned. The game is actually a good one though. So what happens? So after king captures g5, let's say he plays this move, so he can just move back, right? So the action move is g4 check. So king 2, let's say he moves back f6, and then I can just capture on e4. Or what if I can just bring the other queen into the game? So this is still winning. I can just play the rook at g2. So just move the thing. Rook takes g4, queen takes g4, and then he can just pin the knight. Sorry, pin the queen. So actually, this is a good way to render the whole game in the one move. So that's the reason why he captures the bishop. It's a great move than queening. Hmm, got the whole idea. So yeah, this is also a great game with multiple tactical patterns hidden inside these positions. So probably I'll just start with it's an English opening. I'm newer to this English opening thing. So this is symmetrical variation, trying to exchange pieces, and yeah. So here is where he just played aggressively instead of playing safely. So after playing aggressive things and developing up the queens and see, just see, Zerg is kind of like playing a simple chess, but sometimes he do play, sometimes not. Most of the times he do play aggressively and try to find the tactical patterns that other players normally won't do. Yeah. So the basic idea beginning this kinds of setup is he's trying to bring most of his forces which can attack. He's just trying to bring more of attackers to the king side. So see, so in this position, he's kind of like bringing each and every attacker to the king side so that he can just possibly exploit the king side weaknesses with his forces. So actually, I would say this move. I don't know why he played this one. Maybe he would have some other future ideas on this, but I guess this is my instinct says this is a stronger move than that one because of if he captures, then there's a mate in one. So if he didn't capture, I can just go on with the whole lines that we discussed earlier. Hmm. He's add some of these pieces, and yeah, so here there's a nice tactical pattern, so you should not be capturing this way, which allows him to play bishop b7, targeting this knight. So even though you can just play, I don't know how to recover our rook back, so probably should be giving the rook back, or you can just capture the knight and bring the king forward after the exchanges so that you can just defend the knight this way. hmm but he actually gave a rook. Still has two pieces to march forward and win the game with ace. hmm Both of the games are so nice. So with Leko he played English opening, and with Whaley he played the Slav defense. Nice. So I guess we have just reviewed the game against the Kramnik versus Leko, Swidler game, Bailey. Bailey has two games. This is Bulgar. So there are this is Anand as well. So there are three more games. So I guess we'll just analyze those games in tomorrow's stream. I just plan to just wind up the stream now. Yeah, probably I'll just catch up on the tomorrow stream. Bye bye. Take care.